Not only is loss the most important, significant, relevant event or entity in our lives for all human beings, for both men and women, but it's certainly also the most difficult and hardest and painful event to bear, to accept, and also to overcome and recover from, obviously, in one way or another, because there is nothing greater or worse than loss in itself, not only because it has its own relevancy and independence and significance, but also because it's fundamentally irreversible and unchangeable for all of us. Whatever obviously we suffer as a loss, whatever is lost never comes back to us, whether it's lost time or compromised character or the qualities, virtue standards we give up upon or part ways with. None of it comes back the moment it slips away, the moment it is given up. Now, when it comes to loss, then the loss of the human beings in our lives, obviously our close ones, relatives, acquaintances, peers, and the other people, is the hardest and the most difficult to overcome and to recover from. We can provide arguments, we can say and think all we want that we have obviously lost our possessions, wealth, riches, that we are not so rich as we used to be, but that is still understandable, that is recoverable, that is vincible. But the loss of man, the loss of human beings is invincible and irreversible and consequential or inconsequential anyways in our lives in one way or another. But then again, it is also loss that teaches us about the worth of things and value and significance of people that we refuse to value when they are there. We don't always value them while we have them in our lives in one way or another. So definitely loss should always be able to teach us something or another which we have not had before. Loss must teach us what we have not known before, what we have not learned to value before, what we just always undermine and ignore and downplay in our lives, whether it's ourselves or our friends, close ones, families. It could be anyone or anything. But loss is the highest pain and the hardest time to bear, to cope with for anyone in their lives. No matter what they think, what they say, we can challenge other man's notions that they're obsessed with garments, that this garment must not lose power, that they must not survive the loss of their properties, possessions, wealth, riches, but that is still better than losing human beings from our lives, because obviously loss is the highest lesson. And if we cannot learn from loss, we certainly won't be able to learn from anything else in our lives that ever happens to us or that will happen to us. The loss is the highest lesson. There is no greater lesson than loss itself. So we should always learn from loss as much as we possibly